Hi everyone, it's Monique from Butterbee Scraps. Just wanted to show you some bottle caps that I made for a vintage steampunk bottle cap swap over on Life on the Scrap Beach. Krystal Booth hosted it, and there were three groups. One was Vintage Lady, the other was Steampunk, and the third one was Vintage. So I actually decided to do the Steampunk one, and this is what I came up with. The challenge was to include one extra embellishment on at least one of the bottle caps, and we were to make 3 different bottle caps for each member in our group. Well, you know me, I get a little carried away. I put more than one extra embellishment on every single bottle cap. So let me just show you what I've got here. This one is probably my favorite here, and basically what I did was I inked the bottle cap using alcohol inks, and then I used the Steampunk Debutante paper line as inspiration for this one. I actually punched out a 1-inch circle of the paper, and that's what I've used as the background. And then this lady, I'm sure everybody's familiar with her if you're familiar with that paper line. I actually had to resize her on my computer and printed her to the correct size to fit inside the bottle cap, and then I fussy cut around her, popped her up with pop dots, put some glossy accents over, and then put these little daisy spacer beads in her hair just to kind of simulate gears. And then what I did was I punched some holes along the bottom and hung a chain here along the bottom, and then just a little piece of fiber and one little piece of bling. This one here I labored over. I had the idea of doing a light bulb, and I thought it was a great idea, and you guys, you should have seen what I did to this bottle cap. I just reworked it. The bottom originally I had was much larger and looked more like an actual socket from a light bulb, but it was just so big and it wasn't sitting right, and I thought, you know what, this is art, so it doesn't have to be literal. So what I did was I just did a loose spiral and some chain hanging from the bottom. The light bulb itself I printed off the internet, and it may be difficult to see on film here, but there's a picture of a filament in there, and I actually created a filament using my wire and put it in there. I originally started with the glossy accents, and I don't know, it just looked too shiny and new. So then I thought, okay, I added some glitter and sugar beads, and I still didn't like it. And finally I put a layer of crackle accents over top, and so it looks like cracked glass. And then I thought, okay, I can live with that. So it's probably my least favorite of the 3, but all in all I think it turned out okay. And this last one here is a little clock. I printed this vintage looking clock out on the computer, added glossy accents over, and then I bought these watch parts several months ago, and ever since I got them I thought, you know, what am I gonna do with these tiny little screws and stuff? Well, here's a solution. I just sprinkled them on top of the glossy accents when it was wet, and after it dried I glued this daisy spacer bead on the center of the bottom dial and punched a hole and put a game spinner in there. And I don't like unfinished looking items, so for the back what I did was I just added a piece of paper so that the brad wasn't exposed. So for the tag I just cut a piece of chipboard from the Baroque die, and I covered it with one of the papers from the Timepiece paper line. I just participated in a swap and I had some extra papers. I forget which one this is, but anyway, so I thought I would use it here. So if you flip it over, I've got all these ribbons, because of course all I did was I put the ribbon through a hole here, and so that I could hang each of the bottle caps on it. So there's a ton of ribbon back here, and then I used this Tim Holtz hinge clasp, attached it to one of the ribbons here, with a little hinge clip which holds this little tag on. The tag has my personal information and the information regarding the swap, and then if you take this little paper clip off, You have a little journaling spot and a picture mat. And then it looked kind of plain with all this ribbon up here, so I just added this little tiny clock with the wings. These wings were cut from the Tim Holtz Heart and Wings die. And what I did was I used 2 colors of rub and buff, the ruby and antique gold. Put some rock candy on the top so it looks kind of sparkly on the wings, and then just Mod Podged afterwards just to seal it. The clock I got from, actually I bought a couple of the Tim Holtz DVDs. This is the one that's from. I don't know if this will fit in the frame, but it's the Tim Holtz Distressable Elements. And I thought about looking on that DVD after I'd already done this clock here, so it all worked out in the end. So anyway, I hope you guys like the tag. I hope the ladies in my group do. I thought it was kind of neat in the sense that you could actually use this tag as a page in a mini album. You could take these bottle caps off, you can maybe use one of these holes to put your binding ring through, and then you've got, you know, these interactive elements, the tag, and you can put a picture on this one or embellish it however you wanted to. So yeah, there's a few things you could do with it. Anyways, that's all I have to show you tonight. However, if you're interested in knowing what I'm up to and what I plan to do in the near future, go have a look at my blog. I just created this blog, I don't know, within the last week or so. And all you do is you go to butterbeescraps.com, and there's a tab there, it's called Sneak Peeks, and you can go have a look, see what I'm planning on doing. Sorry guys, that was my phone. And there's also, when I have my pattern for my vintage camera mini available, it will be available there. There's also contact information for me. Anyways, if you're interested, go have a look. Thanks for watching and have a great night.